Welcome to I Am the King tutorial, Part 4 War and Secret Agenda. In I Am the King, when conflicts can no longer be resolved by diplomacy, there are two ways to impair your enemy. War and Secret Agenda. War is an armed conflict between two lands. When you send your squad to your enemy, you disturb their production plan. You reduce their population. You loot your enemy. And you may earn yourself a crown as well. To start a war, select several people from your land to form an attack squad, and assign a captain. You would want to pick a squad that has high value in the strength attribute, and a captain who has high value in the charisma attribute. At the beginning of the action phase, each character card will be inserted with a free pursue action clip. Now replace the free pursue clip with the war action clip, then send the attack squad to battlefield. Next, take a blood token to mark your deed. Lastly, let the player you want to attack know you will initiate a war against him. The opponent can choose whether to defend or surrender. If he chooses the latter, he must decide which squad to call and arm for defense. As a reminder, a player can create or change his squad only during his turn for the action phase. He will then assign a captain for the defense squad. In some cases, the squad size may be bigger than the captain's capacity to lead. For example, a mating squad may have many newborns during current round. A previously defeated squad may have no characters with high charisma, as the captain was killed. If the squad size is higher than the captain's charisma attribute, you have to remove the extra people from the squad before you can send them out for defense. Removed characters are no longer part of any squad. If the squad is not assigned to defend already, replace the last action clip with a war clip. Note, if the defender has already assigned his action in this round, sending the squad to defend will force him to abandon his original action plan. As a result, his productivity will be reduced. However, if the defender has not yet assigned any actions in this round yet, he will not lose any productivity. He can still assign any actions and reform squads when it is his turn to assign actions. Now both the attacker and defender are ready. Each side take turns to feature their squad. The size of the squads, the captain in charge, and the strength of individual character, or commoner in the squad. For example, we are showing a squad of size 5, led by Mr. Llama of strength 3. The other members are Mr. Prince of strength 3, Mr. Donkey of strength 5, and 2 commoners with strength of 1 each. This is the battlefield. It has 2 sides where the attacker goes to one side and defender goes to another. Attacker has the right to pick a side first. It has 4 horizontal tracks and each track is marked from number 1 to 14 respectively. Once a character rolls the dice and obtains his battle scores, place the character card on the field in the following manner. 1. Captain always uses the bottom track and the other characters can use any track. 2. The numbers at the bottom is an indication of the character's battle score. Let's say the captain have a battle score of 7, put it at the lowest track, where the character's upper edge goes within the column marked 7. Battle score is determined by the character's strength attribute and a dice roll. Attacker and defender will take turn to roll the dice for each member of their squad. Combine the result of the dice roll with the character's strength to get the combat score. In this example, Mr. Llama rolls a 6, plus his strength of 3, result in a combat score of 9. As Mr. Llama is the captain, place his character card at the bottom track, where the battle score marks 9. Another example. Mr. Prince rolls a 5, plus his strength of 3, result in a combat score of 8. Mr. Prince is not the captain, so he can go to the column at any track, except the bottom where the battle score marks 8. Place the corresponding character card on the battlefield. Repeat this process until all characters are on the battlefield. Now, it is show time. Here is how the battle unfolds. First, identify the character who is standing at the frontmost on each side. Compare their battle scores. The character with higher battle score kills the other character. In case where both sides have the same battle score, both characters will die. When a character dies, give it to the player who kills it. This player will keep the family clip as rivalry token. Rivalry token marks how many lives you have killed from a specific family. Remove all other clips and erase the attribute modification. Put the card back to the discard pile. The survived character will return to the player's hand for now. Repeat the process for the next pair standing in the frontmost of the battlefield, until one side has no more character left on the field. Sometimes, one single side may have two characters with the same battle score. In that case, they will fight together and their battle score will be combined. If their total battle score is bigger than the opponent's side, they kill their opponent and survive together. If their total battle score is lower than the opponent's side, they will be killed together. When the opponent's land has no more people left in the field, the survived character doesn't need to fight. He will return to his player's hand for now. Refer to the cheat sheet to see if the battle result satisfies one of the end condition. If not, continue battle by repeating the process with the remaining squats, until one of the battle ending condition is satisfied. When the battle is over, if the attacker wins, he must decide whether to retreat, or continue to attack with his remaining squats. If the attacker retreats, place the squat back to its original land, with the survived characters facing down to indicate they are dormant. If the attacker decides to go on, the defending side has to decide if they would like to surrender, or send another squat to defend. If the defender surrenders, or has no more squat available to defense, the attacker can claim victory. If the defender is the king, the attacker will immediately take the crown token and keep it. For all the other resources in the land, such as bread tokens, commoners, and characters, the attacker can decide to loot them or not. If some of the squats or characters are in dormant status due to transfer or war in previous turn, they are not lootable, as they are not in the land at the moment of victory. After the attacker collects all the prizes and return to his own land, place all the prisoner character cards facing down in one single pile, as they are dormant for now. You will receive them during next round's housekeeping phase. If this happened before the defender's action phase, add a transfer action clip to all these prisoner characters to keep track of their age. If the defender wins, the defender may or may not capture the attacker's captain or remaining squat. Refer to the cheat sheet for the battle winning conditions. It is not always wise to loot everything upon victory though. If you annihilate a player, they may reincarnate back for revenge. See Advanced Rulebook for detail. If you show mercy upon victory, other players are more likely to surrender during war than fight with everything they got. Another way to harm your enemy is through secret agenda. There are two criteria to execute the secret agenda. First, you will need to send a character under your family name to a foreign land. This character may act as a spy later, to disturb your opponent's production. In this game, characters can be sent to foreign land as a gift or a trade. It is a common gesture. Second, this character has to dislike this foreign land enough to risk safety and comfort to commit sabotage. Check if the character is eligible to execute secret agenda. If the character has virtue of 1, like Mr. Weasel here, he can execute secret agenda without any restriction. Characters with low virtue are born for backstabbing. If the character of virtue of 6, like Mr. Llama, he cannot execute secret agenda in any circumstances, he doesn't believe in lies and secrecy. For characters who has virtue from 2 to 5, in order to execute secret agenda, the foreign land must hold more rivalry tokens than the character's virtue attribute. A player gains rivalry token when he kills a character from another family, either through starving or combat. If he had kill enough, your character will dislike them enough to run sabotage in their land. There are two ways to perform sabotage. Use brute force, it requires high strength attribute to success. To outwit your enemy, it requires high attentiveness attribute to succeed. A player can execute secret agenda anytime during the action phase, except when the targeted opponent is in his action phase. When the opportunity comes, just call it out saying, "Hold on a minute. My spy will execute his secret agenda." Take 1 blood token to mark your deed. Check if the spy character is eligible to perform secret agenda. If your spy happens to be the captain of the squat, take the whole squat back to your land with the characters facing down. Your spy has successfully captured an opponent's squat. If this happened before your opponent's action phase, add a transfer action clip to all these new characters to keep track of their age. If your spy is not the captain, he can sabotage the squat's task and kill the captain if his strength is higher than the captain's strength attribute. Take the captain card and have the squat face down in the opponent's land. Note, your spies didn't run away, and his fate will be determined by the opponent lord next turn. For the captain card you took, take the last name clip as rivalry token. Remove the other clips, and erase the attribute modification. Return card to the discard pile. Alternatively, if your spy is high in attentiveness rather than strength, you can send him to mislead the squats. First, to outwit your opponent, roll the dice once to determine how favorable the situation is. If your spy's attentiveness minus the dice roll is still higher than the captain's attentiveness, you have successfully misled the squat. For any characters in the squat who has attentiveness lower than your spy, take them back to your land with your spy, cards facing down. Turn the remaining squat face down to dormant it. If this happens before your opponent's action phase, add a transfer action clip to all these characters to keep track of their age. If you have failed to mislead the squat, since they have to spend time to catch you, they will become dormant and turn unproductive as well. Turn the squat's characters face down, leave them in the opponent's land. Your spy's fate will be determined by the opponent lord next turn. If this happens before your opponent's action phase, add a transfer action clip to all these characters to keep track of their age. Please note, Secret Agenda is very damaging and it may trigger a chain reaction in retaliation. The opponent's lord may decide execute all your characters in his land next turn, and raise a war against you. So, don't take it lightly to walk such a path. This is the end of War and Secret Agenda tutorial. Please enjoy the game.